So this is a bass clarinet, and I got this instrument a few years back already, but only recently I really got into practicing it. And this instrument is quite a challenge. It's really difficult to develop a great technique on it. And in comparison with my main instrument, the tenor saxophone, I feel like a beginner all over again. While I was practicing this new instrument, I reminded myself of the 3 biggest lessons I learned from practicing my saxophone for now over 20 years already. And no matter what the instrument, if piano, violin, saxophone, clarinet or something else, these 3 biggest lessons or 3 basic rules to develop a great technique are all the same. And this is what I would like to share with you in this video. The first rule is you need to minimize the movements. Let's say you see your favorite instrumentalist and he has just amazing technique and can play super fast. The truth is that if he is apart from his instrument, he cannot move his fingers any faster than you. So practicing an instrument doesn't actually make your fingers move faster at all. And one of the reasons why this person is then able to play faster than you is that they use the movements of their fingers, for example, very efficiently. You might have heard of the flying fingers syndrome. If I would practice the bass clarinet like this, my technique would just stay very, very slow. And what I practice now on my bass clarinet is to minimize the finger movements. A great exercise for that can be the glue exercise. This is one exercise I often do with my saxophone students, but that can also work for a lot of other instruments. And how it works is that your fingers are not allowed to move so high that you lose the contact with the keys, just as if your fingers would be glued to the keys. The second rule for developing a fast technique is use minimal effort, which means that you should only use the force or the muscle strength you need to push down, for example, the key or the string on your instrument. The ultimate goal should be that when you play something really fast, it feels as effortless as playing something very slow and simple. So what I'm doing now on the bass clarinet and what you can also do to reduce the muscle tension when you play is to play everything very slowly. This helps you to take out the stress and the pressure to play everything in a fast tempo right away. A really great exercise to get a feeling how easy it should ideally feel to play your instrument is the so-called ghost exercise. With this exercise, you imagine that you're a ghost and you cannot touch your instrument. This means that you can only pretend to play your instrument. So you keep your fingers slightly above the keys and just imagine pressing down the keys. When you do this, try to notice the tension in your arms. With this exercise, you actually don't need any tension at all. And as soon as you manage to release the tension you have, try to push down the key, but this time with minimal effort. When it comes to tension in your muscles, also keep in mind that the more your muscles tense, the harder it is for your brain to send signals to your muscles. So to give your fingers, for example, the command to move in a certain way. So your muscle tension directly affects how fast you can move your fingers. The third rule to develop a great technique is the unfortunate truth that it just takes time and that you have to invest a lot of time in practicing. All great musicians that have great technique invested a serious amount of time in developing this technique. So how I approach getting better at bass clarinet playing is that I try not to practice 2 hours for 2 days, but instead I try to practice the bass clarinet every day for a little bit. Let's say, for example, 20 minutes. This will give me a big advantage over time because every day I'm able to build up a little bit on the progress I made the day before. What is also a great idea to keep yourself motivated throughout the process is to keep a practicing journal and track how fast you were able to play a certain phrase, for example. With every practice session, you should dedicate a part of your practicing solely on developing your technique. And if you're wondering now what you should practice best to develop a great technique, make sure to check out this video next. So these were the 3 rules to develop a great technique. I hope this video will help you achieve your musical goals. Thanks for watching. Make sure to like the video and also click on subscribe so you don't miss out on future videos like this. this. Let me know down in the comments if you have any other rules that you discovered for developing a great technique. See you next time.